a quick somewhat guide of how to gear up. I'm not gonna talk about leveling or anything. I'm straight up not gonna lie with anyone here. I boosted the fuck out of this monk to 85, so screw that leveling. I want to like get right into it with the PvP. So let's go over the gear, quote unquote. What I'm realizing now is actually when you enter an arena or a BG, your stats all get like normalized to like everyone kind of has similar stats. Like, of course, you slowly get more power, I believe, based on your actual item level. Like, what I've noticed getting like higher item level, like my HP will slightly go up in when I'm in a BG, etc. But yeah, gearing. So I feel like I was hella lied to, but like, yeah, I was told to get the whole bloodthirsty set or whatever. People were like bitching that I was like in full green gear, but actually don't do that. Save yourself a couple thousand gold or whatever it is on your server and keep your water dancer gear. That's actually better because it's one item level higher, so you'll have actually better times. Like, this is only really useful for dueling, honestly, since like I just said before, you get like a set amount of crit hit and all this other shit based on like your item level, I believe, and perhaps the secondary stats on the piece of gear that you have in each slot. But yeah, even though I did like have these resilience pieces, like it only brought my resilience up by like I think 2%. Like you get down to 40% resilience baseline in arenas and BGs, and then it kind of calculates the extra amount you get based on your gear, I'm assuming. I might not 100% be correct on that, but
Greetings.
yeah, how I went about gearing was I went straight for the weapons first. So those are the most expensive. Like, get your double sword or whatever your preferred agility weapon. Make sure the thing has agility on it. I made a mini mistake earlier today, and I got like this over here, a healer thing. I didn't realize till later. I'm like, oh shit, that's not agility. So yeah, have to grind another 625 for that. So you can actually get. There's no 5 set for monks in pre-patch. Obviously, they're not gonna make one just for monks for pre-patch. Like every other class has a 5 set. So you're generally gonna be weaker on the gear side of things. Like, sure, you could get like even just 2 set of this to get the 400 PvP resilience from the bloodthirsty like gear you could buy off the AH. But yeah, basically all the shit that they sell you would be belts, boots, wrists, and then rings, necklace, cape, trinkets, and weapons, I guess. And but yeah, I skipped over those because I just some dude was like offering to sell what used to be the Valor Point leather gloves and I mean not gloves, bracers and boots for 1k for both. So I was like, that seems like a deal. I'll buy that, and then that saved me from having to get like the PvP gear, which is like 390. This is 397, so this is actually better. It was worth my time. Saved me time having to get the bracers and what calls it, bracers and boots. So I think all I need to do left for my grind is get the belt, and then obviously this trinket, but also the on use trinket, so I can use that for doing dungeons and raids. Because as a monk, you're not really getting invited into any raids unless you make the raid yourself. So talents,
Go in peace.
or no, that's glyphs. But yeah, these are all the glyphs you'll want for PvP. This one is for your paralysis. It's like your main CC that you can use from a 20-yard range. It'll just put them in like kind of like a hunter trap kind of deal, or like rogue sap. It shares the same diminishing return as those CCs, so it's an incapitate. I believe it's for 5 seconds, and yeah. Normally, this is the beginning of your combo when you're gonna open up on someone, or if they're running away. Even like if they're kiting you, you use this as like if your roll like this is actually a hella movable class. Like you got 2 rolls, then you got flying strip and kick, bada boom, bada bing, and then this one is a talent, but Tiger's Lust. That's huge. Like, it can basically dispel any root on you or any slow. So that like helps with your mobility in two ways. It doubles down, but it's also like a burst like movement speed. Monks have like the highest movement speed currently, like in Mr. Pandaria. Like maybe Demon Hunters eventually kind of rival them, but I feel like ever since Monk comes out, like in Mr. Pandaria, they're like always the highest mobility class. But yeah, I was yeah, paralysis, it removes all dots so that your paralysis doesn't break, so you can like catch up to them. Let's say someone is like in random battleground, the enemy you want to kill is like already dotted up, you like paralysis them, and then like you can get that much more closer to them to eventually do a disable to like slow them down. But yeah, that, and then Touch of Karma and Nimble Brew. Nimble Brew, basically, if you can get yourself, what does this dispel? It's root, stun, fear, and horror effects. So if you can dispel one of those using Nimble Brew, it's basically like a trinket. You'll get 10% HP back. Karma just gives it a like an actual range you can use it at 25-yard range. Without it, it's a melee range thing, so you kind of need that to survive in PvP. I had bought Touch of Death thinking I could use it in PvP, but actually this is patch 5.4, so the Touch of Death glyph, it is only useful for PvE, for raiding and everything else like that, because you can't use it on players actually. It was 5.4, they took it away from, because I guess it was that too. You could only use it on players 10% or lower, so it was like, at that point, anything else could honestly kill a player. But I mean, yeah, I guess it was deemed too OP, and they took it away from PvP, and it's just a PvE ability, so don't need Touch of Death glyph really for PvP. Although if you're like doing dungeons and stuff, I would replace paralysis with Touch of Death, I believe. I mean, there's definitely other things here, but we're not really covering PvE because I'm not that far yet into this character. I'm like gearing up through PvP, and then I'm gonna like start doing these dungeons over here, like the Rune Protocol, Twilight, or Inferno, whatever. I'm gonna be doing those eventually. But yeah, here's the talents: Tiger's Lust, She Wave. I've been practicing with Chi Burst. It actually does a good amount of like AoE healing and AoE damage. But yeah, it can also do like burst, like single. Like I do a little combo. Like once I stun someone with leg sweep, I will cast Chi Burst into a Rising Sun kick, assuming I have 2 Chi already before I start precasting that. Get like a big burst global there when both of them hit. Otherwise, Chi Wave, it's better than like the nice default to go with. Like Chi Burst requires like aiming and precision, whatever. A little bit more skill to use Chi Burst. Chi Wave is way easier. Zen Sphere, don't even pick that. That's like, I don't even know if Miss Weaver picks this. Like, it's just not worth. Ascension, I'd choose this for having 5 Chi maximum, so you're kind of like a rogue where they have 5 combo points. Without this, you would normally just have 4 Chi to spend, so you're able to, for PvP combos, like if you get 5 Chi, you can like Fist of Fury or like Rising Sun Kick while it's on cooldown, and then Fist of Fury, and then assuming you had 5 combo points, you spent 3 here. As Fist of Fury is ending, you get like a Rising Sun Kick out of that Fist of Fury. It's like kind of like a combo. And yeah, some people say use Chi Brew, but I feel like that's more for PvE, honestly. Like Ascension is just definitely better. Like you get more, which calls it haste, kind of. Well, not really haste, but it's like energy regen. It may as well be haste. But yeah, you get 5 Chi, and then your maximum mana is by 15%, but we don't really use a mana bar. So yeah, that's the mana part is more for Mistweavers in that. So we get 3 things here. Definitely leg sweep always. I don't know, maybe charging Oxblade for leveling. This might be for Mistweaver. I don't know. Like if you're a Mistweaver and you already have so many stuns on the team, you don't want to DR them with leg sweep. You go Ring of Peace, I guess. Kind of like works as an in cap, but I don't really play around with that. So I was originally playing with Diffuse Magic. That's really good against a lot of casters. Like you can dispel the dots and put them back to their original user. But I feel like I have way more like solo survivability since I'm playing on my own in these random battlegrounds, like with healing elixirs. So every 18 seconds you can get this buff, which would be up here, and using something like Tiger's Eye Brew, I don't know, Energizing Brew, Fortifying Brew, Nimble Brew, one of those will heal you. This is, and also you get like an automatic one when you're below 35% health. So we can't really go on these because we're not level 90 yet, but generally it's like Invoke Zuen for burst after like you get your trinket procs and everything. Like you want to snapshot with all your shit to like before you summon Zuen. I believe that's how it was played. And then Rushing Jade Wind. Even though it looks like an AoE talent, it can be used as single target as long as you're like you have like a haste build for being able to keep this up 100% time while you're also like using like your Rising Sun kick, Tiger Palm, and your Blackout kick. And that's Glyphs. That's a specialization. So priorities and rotation. So let's say let me get myself to a dummy here. Actually, one of the first prios is make sure you rebuff every time you die, because you're gonna be dying a lot in random battlegrounds. And this is like an AoE buff. It'll buff everyone around you. I believe the mage buff is actually better because it gives spell damage and which calls it crit. So actually, mage buff is better than our own white tiger thing. Keep that in mind. If you're dispelling other people's like mage buff, you kind of like griefing the casters in your PvP group. But yeah, you'll get used to it eventually. So let's get a little example here. So let's say there's a guy running by. I'm gonna paralyze him, run up to him, paralyzes, running out in like 3 seconds, whatever. You stun him, jab, Tiger Palm, Rising Sun Kick. So those are the main things you want to do as an opener to get this Tiger Power, which makes you ignore 30% armor, and then Rising Sun Kick does like a Mortal Strike, Mortal Wounds debuff like arms and every other class that has that, reduces the healing on them, and also, see, does it do something else here? Applying Mortal Wounds to target also causes all targets. So it's also an AoE debuff, so if people are stacked up, they're also going to get Rising Sun Kick debuff. That's also nice to know. But yeah, you're mainly keeping this up for the Mortal Wounds. When you're like killing someone, like it'll help you kill them faster if they have a healer on them. So yeah, you want to be jabbing. I don't have what you call it, my chi showing, but I know I have 1, 3 now. I have 3 again. Well, mainly your goal is to build up Tiger's Eye Brew, and you do that by spending chi, so just doing your normal DPS rotation. But yeah, you can like kind of store up. Whenever you get these combo breaker procs for Tiger Palm or Blackout Kick, you want to be using them right away before you jab, because normally jab, I believe, is what procs the combo breaker. So yeah, do that. Whenever your Tiger power goes like low to 5 seconds, re-pop it up. You're not going to be getting much damage from this main spell. It's going to be mainly from Rising Sun Kick as your bursty kick, and then we pop Tiger's Eye Brew, pop our trinket, and then we pop Fist of Fury for, this is probably your biggest form of damage, and then like Blackout Kicks are going to be like your filler. They'll kind of do a little bit of healing if you're facing the front of your target, and then they'll do extra damage if you're behind them, say you're chasing someone. So I already let Tiger Palm go down, but I mean, don't worry, that happens a lot, especially in PvP. But yeah, make use of your Fist of Fury more to like AoE CC people while your leg sweep is on cooldown. And then you can also like interrupt as well with Spear Hand Strike. Self-explanatory, it's kind of a longer cooldown compared to other classes, like 15-second cooldown. So use it wisely. Probably use it to like kick an interrupt, or I mean a CC, like kick a poly or a fear or something. Unless you're on a healer, I mean kick a big heal or whatever. Just kick them to like stop them from healing. It's another form of CC. So when you're like low on energy like this, and you know you've got a few chi built up, use your energizing brew. That has like a 1 minute cooldown and should be used pretty liberally. Don't really hold on to it like I am. Like I'm trying to describe all the other spells, but yeah, try to never ever be like energy capped. Like I know it's not showing my combo points slash chi, but like I have a good idea of like what I have left. Like I have 1 chi now. That missed. I have 3 chi, 0 chi now. As long as your energy's not gonna cap it, you're good to Fist of Fury. But also, you could use it as an interrupt as well. Like if your interrupt's on cooldown, you can use like paralysis to stop a heal or stop a cast. You could use leg sweep to stop a cast. You could use Fist of Fury to stop a cast. Yeah. Generally, ideally, you want to get like 10 Tiger's Eye Brew before you start bursting and pop your trinket. Get your debuffs going, then go for like a fat fucking Fist of Fury. Ora. So that's generally how you would deal damage. I mean, of course, you're obviously using a chi wave here and there. If you're running away, you could use Expel Harm. This also gives 10 chi, but it's not spammable like Jab. It's on a 15-second cooldown. So yeah, you could use that on cooldown definitely for like a little bit of healing. Your main source of healing, you might notice you don't really have any healing besides that and that. You actually have healing orbs. So you can run over these to heal you. For me, they heal 16k. They could crit for 32k, etc. They cost energy though. So you could also, if you're in combat and running, energizing brew and like start spamming these underneath you as you're running away. Like spam them in front of your path where you're walking or running towards. Let's see. Okay, so that's like your self-healing, survivability. Oh no, wait. So fortifying brew is like kind of like a shield wall for warriors. Increases your health by 20%. It's like last stand also, and reduces damage by 20%. So this also is a really good survivability cooldown. But Touch of Karma is like one thing about Monk. This is really good, except for it can be countered, I believe, by... I know Paladins can give Blessing of Protection on the person, whoever has Touch of Karma, and it'll take off that dot, so it fucks the Windwalker Monk. I think there was something else, like I think Priest can mass dispel it as well. So there's that. Yeah. 2 main defensive cooldowns. Storm, Earth, and Fire. Honestly, you're never going to be using this in PvP. Honestly, I only have it on my bars just for the sake of like having not as much empty spots here. Also in talents, in this expansion, I'm pretty sure you can see what comp you're fighting. So in 3v3, say you see double melee or a hunter melee, you go damping on harm, I believe. And then if you see wizard cleave or something like with like a, I don't know, an affliction warlock, you go diffuse magic, I believe, for 3v3 comps. Like these are interchangeable here, I believe. The most I remember having to change talents like in PvP, because you get to change talents like before the gates open. And I think usually I just always use Invoke Zwend, but there's times in 2v2 where it's me and just a healer where I'll choose Rushing Jade Wind for more static like damage rather than bursty damage. Like you can keep this Rushing Jade Wind up for really, like, it's good for like single target and AoE, honestly, as long as you've got like enough haste to like keep it going, because it costs 40 energy, right? And you're not exactly going to be getting oh wait, you do yeah, you're not going to be getting chi from one target, so you're still going to be needing like which calls it energy to jab while that's going, or expel harm to like also gain which calls it chi for your chi finisher abilities. Yeah, that's kind of, I feel like you would have to watch my streams of me like gearing this character out to like get a good idea. I haven't got to do any arenas, like arenas aren't out yet, like we're off season, I guess. Rated, yeah, off season, not till like the 21st, so I could probably maybe try and set up war games if people actually did that. I know the one comp I look forward to playing as a Windwalker Monk would be the Walking Dead cleave, which is generally H Pally and then Unholy Death Knight and Windwalker. It could be any spec Death Knight, but preferably Unholy. So you got like the Walking Dead with you. But yeah, that would be called Walking Dead cleave. Then there's KFG. It's like KFC, but you replace the warrior with a Windwalker monk. There was another one with a boomkin. I forget what that was called. But yeah, Windwalker monk. Guide for the people who have at least boosted one. I still gotta do a little bit of gearing here, like trinket wise, and I gotta get the belt. Then, if I want to be any more powerful in BGs, I need to like actually up my item level. So I'll have to do dungeons to be better in PvP. It's kind of weird how that the turntables, as they say. Yeah. How long is this guide? 20 minutes. Holy fuck! I've been yapping.